Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Belinda here. Last month I participated in Junk Journal September, which was hosted by Dust to Roses. That's Cassie on Instagram. And this is my completed journal. So I made the journal myself. Bit of collage on the cover and covered in cover seal, plastic book cover. And I'm just going to do a flip through. I'm not going to talk too much. Just let the art speak for itself. I'll try and remember what each prompt is, just so you kind of get it. And yeah, just have a quick little flip through. So first prompt was begin. Hopefully I'm in frame for this. I think I am. Second prompt was kindness. Season, and I chose spring because we're in spring in New Zealand. Lost and found. It says, when I allow myself to get lost in creating art, I find and release my true self. This was change. Cracked. So hold it up a bit so you can see I've got a dimensional sticker poking through a hole in the paper, and I've rubbed ink to make it all look like it's broken. This was envelope, so I've got little messages under these miniature envelopes and a card inside this larger envelope here. And I used inside of envelopes to collage in the background. So this one was muted, so I just went with a muted colour palette. Dreams, some children's book illustrations. Patterns, and I used a couple of pages out of a flow book for paper lovers, which I coloured. I do have a little bit of problem with the paint, the acrylic paint I use sticking pages together. I'm not too worried about it. It's fine. This was bloom, so I did this flower out of jelly prints. This is monochrome, and it says, all the beauty of life is made up of light and shadow, a quote from Leo Tolstoy. This was layers. It's pretty boring, pretty plain, but yeah, I met the prompt, so move on. This was soft, so I did it in a couple of ways. Soft watercolor background and a feather to represent soft. This was stamps, so I used postage stamps and some ink stamps as well, and some word stamps, letter stamps, which I made words out of. And then I only realized a few days later that I'd stamped the L on the end of the instead of on the end of travel. Like, duh. That was annoying. But anyway, it is what it is. This is probably my favourite spread that I did. The prompt was joy, and just looking at that makes me happy. Deliberately used lots of bright colours. This was snapshot, so I'd been out walking, took a snapshot of myself, of my shadow, and then put a quote which says, snapshots, moments, mere seconds, as fragile and beautiful and hopeless as a single butterfly flapping against a gathering wind. And that's a quote from Lauren Oliver. That's that one for snapshot. And then this one was colour, so I just drew a bunch of colourful toadstools and insects. This is probably my second favourite spread, and it was simple, so I just did simple graphics, cut out some words from a magazine, and I just think it's quite impactful. It's like nice and bold and simple style. This was quote, so I just use keep going, keep growing. Just a very short, simple quote, but I really like it. This was recycled, so I used everything was recycled, and then I added a bit of pen detail. This is mended, something like that, and so I stitched some paper together and put a quote, "In a world of broken things, be a mender." This was reflection, so I just put paint on this side and then smushed it onto this side, so this side is my reflection of that side. Made a couple of mistakes here and there and did the paint on the wrong side. It's fine, I know it, but to a casual glance, probably nobody else would pick it up. And this one, I am having problems with the pages sticking together, so it's damaged it. But it's fine. It's fine. I love this one as well. This was heart. So I just did some painting and drawing. And I've used washi tape in the middle of some of these pages just to stop it sticking together right in the spine. So it still sticks other places, but just stops it sticking there. This was cherished. So I typed out a sentiment, my own words. It's not a quote from anyone else. I am cherished in order to cherish others in my life. Just added a few details. This one was pocket. So I really loved the background, which I did with Sharpie markers. Really pretty bold colours, went around the lines in between with a gold, I think, or copper. I think it, not quite sure. Gold, I think. Made a couple of little pockets, some of my words on the pockets, and the tags, which I'll decorate up when I feel in the mood. And I really like the bleed through, so I left that and worked around it. And this prompt was fibres. So I used paper that has fibres in it and some string I pulled apart and glued down. This one was ink, so I used my Liquitex Iridescent Bright Gold ink and then did some pen detail, just some patterns and bits and pieces as well. The next one was inspire. So I just wrote big word inspire across the middle, and I put be an inspiration, be inspired. Little messages to myself. And the last day of the month was remember. So I drew this tree and cut out all these leaves, which is a pattern on a scrapbook paper. So I cut out individual leaves and glued them down. And I wrote, again, my own words, I remember to keep my memories alive, living, breathing, rustling on the wind of my travels through these days and years, while some memories I allow to fall, drifting to a place of peace. And then I've just got a few empty pages at the end, which I can fill up whenever I like. I'm now on to my journal for October. So I chose to start a new journal rather than filling up these pages. I'll just go and use them when I just have a random thing I want to do. So that is my Junk Journal September journal, full of art journaling, and I'm really, really happy with it. Happy with the direction I'm going in and with a bit of play and experimentation. So I hope that you enjoyed watching this, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for joining me. Bye.